Hello and welcome to the Burnt Bridges podcast. I'm here. I am starting a solo podcast, which I think is the coolest thing ever. It's something that I've wanted to do literally forever because I always wanted a place that I could talk freely, I can be authentic, I can be 100% me and vulnerable in a place that I feel comfortable. And there's no better way to do that. I mean, I'm sitting on my bed right now, folks. I mean, really, this is where I'm going to talk my shit, okay? And I mean, I don't mean I'm just talking shit here. But it is going to be a place that I can tell my stories. I can talk about life. And I feel like Burnt Bridges, there's no better name for this because, I mean, I've burnt a million bridges in my life, but also I feel like this comes from a place of power and just transformation. And I've transformed my life. I've really did a whole 360. Is it a 380? It might be a 380. It's a 360, right? No, it's a 180 because if you do a 360, then you're right back in the same place. So never mind. I did a 180 with my life. And I want to talk a little bit about that here on this podcast. Probably not here on the first episode because I do have a little bit of a structure going on here today. But in the future, I really would like to get into a little bit of my life story and tell you guys about my life and how I ended up where I am today. And yeah, I mean, I'm currently part of another podcast I am with two of my friends, Andrew and Kyle. It's called And Whatnot, where we also talk our shit, but that's based more so on just like bullshit, literally like what we did that day, what we're doing currently. I mean, we literally talk while we're walking, and it's just a place that we can have fun together. But I wanted this to be my thing where I don't have any ties to any of that. I don't have any ties to anyone specific. It's just me in my comfy little bed, talking my shit and living my life, okay? So I did write a whole thing about what Burnt Bridges is going to be about and what I want it to be, what I see for it. But I mean, reading something off of my phone to you would be doing the exact opposite of what I want this to be, and that's not being authentic. That wouldn't be authentically me if I just scripted a little blurb for you guys, read it off, and called it a day. So really, it's not set in stone what this podcast really is going to be. I do have a little bit of a structure today. It's a place where, you know, I'll talk about pop culture, I'll talk about what's happening in the world, the news, and then I want to create a little segment where I can kind of branch off and either tell a true crime story, talk my shit about conspiracy theories, tell my own personal stories, and then I guess we'll finish it off today with a little game of Would You Rather with your girl here, Amanda Smith. All right, because I don't know, maybe I have some hot takes, maybe I don't, but we're gonna find out. But I guess really just getting right into the podcast is we are going to talk about Brianna Chickenfry and Grace O'Malley. They are hot right now. They're in the media, okay? And when I say the media, I mean TikTok. I actually have not been going crazy on TikTok. I feel like maybe it's just because the holidays are coming around, and the fact that the holidays are coming around, I'm still in August. I tell everyone I know, all my friends, I'm literally still in August. I don't know what happened to every other month, but it's not here for me. I'm still in August, stuck there. I can't even believe that Christmas is, God, I don't even know, 2 weeks away. 11 days away currently when I'm recording this podcast, and that is insane to me, and I am scared. Okay. It crept up on me. I think Thanksgiving was just a little too late this year. And now I'm just stuck in December, but my body is left in... Actually, my mind is in August. My body is here in December. And that's a scary thought, okay? I don't know what's going on with that, but here I am. On my first diversion, we have now left the tracks, okay? We're headed for the bridge, all right? Because I'm rambling. Anyway, Brianna Chickenfry and Grace O'Malley are feuding, okay? What the hell? These BFFs are in some shit, all right? Obviously, we know that Brianna Chickenfry has been, actually, what is her last name? LaPaglia? We don't know. It's one of those, I think. I could be completely pronouncing it wrong, but that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to call her Brianna Chickenfry because that's how I know her, Brianna Chickenfry. Anyway, her and Grace are in some because obviously we know that Brianna was with Zach Bryan, who turned out to be a royal piece of shit. I mean, I feel like I kind of knew that when he cheated on his ex-wife or whatever had happened. I was like, wow, I like his music, but he's a real royal piece of shit. There's also a fly in my room. It's been flying around for the past 4 fucking weeks. I don't know. I literally don't know what he's eating, how he's surviving. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares about this fucking fly flying around my room. All right. Anyway, Brianna Chickenfry. Brianna Chickenfry has been with Zach Bryan for what? Maybe a year, a little over a year, whatever it was. Honestly, the timeline really just doesn't fucking matter. But obviously, he turned out to be a royal piece of shit. He was abusive, and that's just that. I mean, there's no real explanation. He's just a royal piece of but I still, how lucky are we? It's been a hell of a week. Yeah. He obviously was abusing Brianna in mentally and I guess somewhat physically. We don't know all the details. Maybe we do. I don't listen to the BFFs pod, but I do get the clips from it. And I know Brianna just did a tell-all that Grace had warned us about, and it wasn't going to shed her in a good light. But I guess starting off this feud was because Brianna had posted about starting the Plan Brie podcast again that Grace was a part of, and Grace was kind of blindsided by this post on Instagram. But Brianna had Zach Bryan had posted something on Instagram a while ago, basically announcing their breakup, him and Brianna's, and Brianna said she was completely blindsided by that Instagram post, and she did not like that, okay? Brianna did not like that. Well, Brianna did the same friggin' thing to Grace O'Malley, okay? I'm Team Grace all the way. Brianna, no beef. But, I mean, this girl blindsided Grace and just straight up told her that she's restarting the podcast, but I guess she's going solo. And no more Grace. Bye-bye, Grace. And I think that's terrible. I think that's sad, and it's causing a whole rift or whatever had caused the actual rift in their relationship kind of sucks, okay? And I think for me, I really get where Grace is coming from. I mean, they've been best friends since they were little, right? I mean, I'm not here fact checking, but that's what I've heard from the grapevine. And like I said, this podcast, it's literally my opinions based off of the little things that I see on TikTok. Okay, I'm not watching the BFF podcast. The podcast that I listen to is canceled with Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield, but Brooke Schofield is under the heat too. So whatever the fuck is going on with these influencers right now is absolutely fucking wild, and they need to get their shit together. Okay, you're online. People are listening. Get it together, honeys. Here I am saying that, and I'm just like going off the rails here, but whatever. I understand where Grace is coming from, because someone who like myself, has been, this is like just my take on their relationship right now, and I have a weird feeling that eventually maybe they're going to become friends again. But it's hard to tell because these are big things happening in their lives that sometimes you just really can't come back from. And my take on it is that Brianna was in an abusive relationship for a year, maybe over a year. And to me, when you have a best friend that's in an abusive relationship, I really understand where Grace is coming from. And I'll tell you this, coming from someone who was in an abusive relationship, you are completely isolated. I mean, you are withered down to a little piece of dust on the floor, okay? You believe everything this person is saying, and it's usually they feed off of someone who's vulnerable or in a vulnerable state. And I mean, I was young and dumb and still am, I guess, but you learn from your mistakes and you get withered down to literally nothing. Like, you become a piece of shit, and it doesn't matter what anyone else around you is saying. And it is so hard to get out of those really abusive relationships, because whether you want to break up with them or you get into a big fight and you threaten the possibility of leaving, and they either threaten to unalive themselves or just do crazy things, and it comes to a point where you cannot leave. And I get it, and I feel for Brianna, I really do. But the reason why I understand where Grace is coming from, because when I was in an abusive relationship, I was really shit to my friends, and I don't mean in the way that I was cursing them out and I was saying shit and doing this and that, but it was more so like I completely isolated. I didn't talk to them. These were my best friends, okay? These were the people. This was my best friend of 8 friggin' years, all right? And at the time, I mean, had we still been friends after all this, it would have been, God, in the double digits now, but we're friends from a young age, and we did everything together, always together. But it doesn't matter. Once you get into that abusive relationship, everything shifts, and I think that's what's happening here, and it's sad. But when you start to isolate in that way, your friends start to live their own lives without you, because they are in this position where, well, she may or may not come back to us. It starts to feel really drawn out. And then, like, in the beginning, you're still friends with them. Like, I still had my friends when I was in this abusive relationship, but it starts to slowly settle because, it's not enjoyable to be around your friend and their abusive partner. It's not at all, because it's either really hostile or they're really just assholes to you as the friend. Like, I know in Grace and Brianna's friendship, like, Zach was kind of a dick to Grace, and that's just what happens. Abusive f***s are abusive f***s, okay? It doesn't matter all around they are, in their family life, in their friendships, in every aspect of life. I mean, they're just abusive pieces of shit. And they'll do whatever to isolate you and make you feel as if you're nothing. And obviously that's where Brianna was, and you can tell the difference now from being out of it, like being out of the relationship, and how different she is right now. It's kind of like a light has come back. But the reason why I say I understand where Grace is coming from is because she learned to kind of live her life with seeing Brianna go through this and realizing, like, you essentially are choosing your abusive partner over your friends. Because, I mean, coming from my experience in the very beginning, like, when I saw it happening and I wanted to hang out with my friends, my abusive partner would be like, no, you can't. But, like, there was, like, an urge to go against that and do it anyway. But eventually you lose that, like, fight. You lose the fight in you. So I have a feeling Brianna completely isolated, and now Grace is just, she's she's feeling that, and my friends felt that too, and we are no longer friends since that situation because something even bigger went down after or during when I was in that relationship. And so I totally understand. I mean, I feel bad for the both of them, you know. It just kind of really sucks. And one thing that Brianna's doing that really sucks, and she's being a friend. I don't really think that Brianna is a true friend, okay? I don't think she's a shining star in the friendship field, and she might act like one, but I don't think she is. And she talks all about how she hates when people hang something over someone else's head, you know? Like, I gave you this, you should respect me. And she was basically saying that she gave Grace everything that she has. She brought her everywhere, and she's basically just being a hypocrite because she is doing exactly what she said that she doesn't like people doing. And I just think all around, like, Grace is just not obligated to stick around at all. Like, I completely get both sides because I've been on both sides, but at the end of the day, you can't expect even a lifelong friend to stick around after the things that they endured and the pain and the trauma they've seen you go through. But along with that, they had to go through it too with you, because of course a good friend is going to stick around for as long as they can, but at some point they kind of have to wipe their hands clean. And I think that's what Grace is doing, and I'm totally with her on it. It also doesn't help being in a spotlight. You know, on social media, I feel like everything's just so much more like, it's just, you feel it so much more. You know, you have this person saying this and the other saying another thing, and everyone's commenting, everyone's has their own opinion on your own personal life. And I think that's really hard and sad. And it's just, I mean, it's, I guess, the repercussions of being an influencer, having a following or having a platform, that everyone's going to judge you. But at the end of the day, this is their real lives. But you know, it's not just here for the shits and gigs. It's real, and it sucks, and I think I get both sides. But overall, I don't think Grace has to stick around, and I think she's been through enough. I mean, even with the podcast and them talking about being in Miami or wherever they were, if you know what I'm talking about. Not even going to get into it because it's just stupid. But, well, it's not stupid. It's more so that, I mean, Grace had a reason to end the friendship there, and she didn't. But overall, like I said, I think Grace is doing what she has to do, and I think the two of them kind of have to live separately for a while in order to at least maybe mend the friendship in the future, or not. I don't think it really matters at this point, because they're going to do what they need to do. And I think coming out of an abusive relationship, Brianna does need friends, but Grace does not have to stick around. Brianna can make new friends. She has a lot of people around her, and I think I'm going to stop talking about Brianna and Grace right now because I'm sick of it. How lucky are we? It's been a hell of a week. Okay. I legitimately just coughed up a lung. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I get this really weird anxiety around holidays where I'm really scared I'm going to get sick. And one of my friends was just recently sick, and I am terrified, okay? I don't like getting sick. Obviously, nobody likes getting sick, but I get like sick anxiety, and I just don't like it, okay? I used to never get sick in my young life, my teens, if you will. But now as an adult, I don't know. I'm 26 years old and I get sick a lot, okay? I've got a lot of problems, but I just get real anxiety about getting sick, and I don't want to get sick. And I've been taking vitamin C like I'm an addict, okay? I am addicted to vitamin C right now. I'm not overdosing on vitamin C, I promise, but I'm taking quite a lot of vitamin C. And yeah, I don't know why I told you that, but I did, so deal with it. Anyway, next thing I kind of wanted to get into just a little bit, because I really don't know much about it, is Luigi. What's his name? Luigi something. Manzione. Is that his name? Luigi Manzione. the United Healthcare shooter, Mangione, Luigi Mangione. That's how I'm gonna say it. So, but Luigi shot the United. Okay, I'm laughing, but it's not a laughing matter. But Luigi shot the United Healthcare guy. Okay, why the hell did this man do this? Like, what is going on? This is like just seems so out of character for this guy. I mean, what? He's 26 years old, I think, maybe 27. He was like living in Hawaii. He was living his best life. Like, he had this girl on TikTok. That was cool. That was cool to show up on my For You page, okay? Saying that she was friends with Luigi. Like, he was the only person that she would answer like, if someone FaceTimed her, she would only answer his. Like, they went out at like 3 a.m. to get mochi. Is it mochi? I don't know. I've tried it like once and I didn't like it. Ice cream. Whatever. Like, that is such a little fact of this story. Like, that does not matter, but it just seems like he was like a people person. You know, he was a friend. He was like the guy that you went to, okay? And at the same time, I'm thinking of that one picture of him getting brought in. He's in custody and he's in the jumper. I'm pretty sure he's in the jumper. And he's like looking back and he just looks like he's in a movie. And I'm like, this is not real. Like, how are we here, Luigi? Why did we do this? What happened? Okay. How did you go from being like this surfer dude, hanging out in Hawaii, living your best life, to coming to New York and just shooting the shit up? Okay. How did you do that? Why did you do that? And that's another thing. Like, apparently he had injured himself surfing and he had like really bad back pain. And I guess he had seen doctors for it, and he was like reading, like, this man was like downloading books on his Kindle. Actually, I don't know if this man has a Kindle. I just made that up, but like, whatever. I think he was like reading books about chronic pain and whatever, and like just so into like the fact that like, and I understand, okay, maybe I relate to everything I'm talking about today, okay, except for the fucking drones. I don't know what's going on, but we'll get into that. But like, I understand how debilitating back pain can be, okay? Like, I understand wanting to shoot the shit up for it. Actually, take that right back out, take that right back into my mouth. I don't mean that. I understand how debilitating and how, you know, how terrible it can be to have back pain. And it like literally, it sucks. It legitimately sucks. It like takes away from your life in a big, big way. And not to the point, like I said, take that out of my mouth, or put it back in my mouth right now, what I said before about I understand wanting to shoot the shit up, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I've been in the hospital because I have arthritis in my back, and I had a really bad back injury last year, or this past year, I don't even know, or 2024, yeah, somewhere in the beginning of this year. And I understand, okay, but I don't understand how it could take you so far as to kill a human being over it, okay? What did that man have to do with your back, honey? You were surfing, okay? You were on that board. Whatever his name is, was not. Also, why does the United Healthcare guy like look so familiar? It looks like he's like my neighbor or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? When you see someone, you're like, wait, why do they look so oddly familiar to me? Maybe he was in commercials or something, and that's how I know him. Quick diversion here about thinking that people are your neighbor or friend. I met Jimmy Fallon back in like, I don't even know, 2019, 2020. And he was like getting out of the car, and I like ran up to him. Well, I didn't run up to him. I was actually working. So, and he gets out of the car. I was working as a valet driver, and as a valet driver, you have like the tickets ready to, you know, write down the license plate and give them a ticket and let them in the door, open the doors up for them. So I open the doors for them, and Jimmy Fallon pops out, and in my head, that's not Jimmy Fallon. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, like, I'm thinking I know this man. This man is my friend, okay? This man is my neighbor. I know him from somewhere. I don't know him from TV, that's for sure. I did not think that at all. But I just thought I knew him from life, not from TV. So I just think it's really funny when you meet someone famous or you see someone famous, you think that you have seen them in real life plenty of times. So I thought Jimmy Fallon was my friend and not Jimmy Fallon. I had to actually be told it was Jimmy Fallon, because in my head I'm like, oh wow, this guy looks really familiar. He must be a neighbor or someone I've met that I can't put my fingertips on. But no, it was Jimmy Fallon. And yeah, my friend had to be like, no, that's Jimmy Fallon and his driver is over there. And I almost wrote him a little valet ticket. Like, how embarrassing. I feel like every single celebrity experience I've had in my life has been embarrassing, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, that was a quick diversion about like seeing someone who's familiar and just thinking that they're your neighbor. Okay, they live across the street, you know, you can borrow milk anytime. Okay, but no, that wasn't the case. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why the United Healthcare guy looks so familiar. Maybe it's just commercials. I don't know. Why does he look familiar? Someone tell me. But regardless, back to Luigi Mangione. Why did this man do this? Why did this man do this? Okay. I just don't know where he got the idea from. I mean, apparently he had, like I said, was like reading books and doing all this stuff. And just, first of all, can we talk about the fact that he wasn't even a client of United Healthcare? Did we find out more about this and I'm just sitting here like being a dumb and like not knowing anything? Or like, do we really not know why he did it? Did he talk yet? I'm not on the mainstream media, okay? I'm not like listening to Fox News or whatever the hell news channels we listen to nowadays, folks, okay? I'm not. Most people, like, the first thing they put on in the morning is the news, and I'm just not. I'm literally not doing that because I don't need to know about all the shootings and all the scary things that happen. I think it's very important to know what's happening in the world, but I don't need it. And like, I'm fine with getting those facts, but I don't need to sit there and watch it all day long and just feel scared to go outside of my house or just feel like this world is cold. And I like to believe that the majority of the population is good and we just need to seed out the bad ones. But watching the news, it makes you feel like 90% of the population is bad, and I just don't want to do that to my brain because my brain is already a little fucked up. So yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay. But regardless, Luigi was not even a client. He wasn't even a client. Like, United Healthcare, no, they did not give him healthcare. Okay. So what is it? A family member that couldn't get healthcare that died or something? Why did he do it? Okay. That's the question of the day. Why did you do it, Luigi? I would love to have a conversation. I would love to sit in a room with that man and say, what happened? Okay. You stopped talking to your friends. Your family reported you missing while you're traveling to New York with a plan to shoot up a man. I mean, the plan was crazy. Like, that man had a suppressor on his gun. That man had, wait, I need to figure out the details before I start talking on topics. I really do, because I'm like, where did he get the gun? Has he had the gun? Did he borrow the gun? Is it not registered and like government registered, whatever? Like, what is this? You know? I should probably figure that out, but today's just not the day for it. I just really want to know why Luigi did it, and like, why a young person, like, honestly, he's literally my age, and I'm like, where did it go wrong for you? You know, I just don't believe that solely back pain can do that to you. Like, where in your mind did some switch flip and you said, this is it? I mean, there's also these conspiracies. That would have actually been a really nice segue to go into a conspiracy theory about this Monopoly thing that Luigi was playing and why people think it's like part of a Monopoly game because something with the railroad or whatever the fuck, and he had been caught at a McDonald's. There was something to do with Monopoly, okay? Another thing that I didn't get into. I wasn't going to spend much time on the Luigi thing, to be honest with you, because I just didn't want to. Like I said, I don't listen to mainstream media. I don't consume day to day. Most of my source is from TikTok, TikTok, literally. Besides that, I mean, I do my own research here and there, but I'm not like sitting on this case, and like I am a true crime girly. I am true crime to the day I die, but I'm not like, I need to be interested in the case. I need to watch something on it. I can't just like sit and watch like a news reporter tell me about Luigi. Okay, I need like the full nine. I need where he was born, what was he doing? You know what I mean? Like, I need from the time he was born, what he did as a kid, like what was he doing to get him this far in life, just to waste it all on, well, waste it all is a weird way of saying that, but just to like throw his life down the drain and just say, yeah, f it, like, wait, I don't know. I couldn't imagine like spending the rest of my life in jail at this age. Like, maybe try me in like 40 more years and I'd be like, yeah, I could probably spend the rest of my 20 years here on this earth in prison. But I mean, really, it's sad. And I was going to say this poor kid, but he killed somebody, but like also, I mean, the rich, right? Oh my God, here I go. Let's maybe bring it back. But what I mean by that, I probably shouldn't just leave that on a dead end there, but like, I don't mean kill them, but maybe like it's okay to like steal from them sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm not a thief, I'm none of that, but f the rich, okay? I want some money too, but like, let's not kill people for it, because that's not cool. The next thing I wanted to touch upon today, that I literally just rambled about Luigi for so long because I'm so confused about it, but whatever, Luigi will talk. Maybe he'll do a tell-all like Brianna did, but it'll be a lot more exclusive and a lot more fun than just like crying on a couch and telling us about Grace O'Malley. Sorry. All right. I should probably not have a mic in my hand, and I should probably shut the fuck up, but this is what this podcast is, okay? I wanted to be as unfiltered as possible, and I guess I am just living true to it, because what the I mean, I'm just spilling things out of my mouth that I probably shouldn't, and that's fine, okay? The other thing I wanted to touch upon was the drones, okay? What the is going on with these drones? I mean, car-sized drones, let's be real here. Like, obviously, we know they exist, I guess, like military-grade drones, fine. But I mean, we're talking car-sized drones just in the middle of bumblefuck New Jersey. Like, people are just catching this shit on film. On film was such a boomer thing to say. I constantly tell my boyfriend that I'm a boomer. Like, I'm literally a boomer. I sometimes don't know how to work my phone, but I think that's a good thing, because there's 4-year-olds that can probably work their phone better than I can, and I think that's honestly a fucking flex. Okay, I'm 26 years old, and a 4-year-old can work it better than me. What the was I saying? Oh, the drones. Okay. Apparently they're spotted in New Jersey, New Mexico, and California, and maybe some other places. I don't know. I haven't seen a drone yet. I'm in New York here, but I would really like to see a car-sized drone. And why aren't we shooting them down? Why aren't we shooting them down? Because apparently we have no authority to shoot these drones down. You want to know why? And my theory on why we have no authority to shoot them down, it's because it is our U.S. government, okay? They are up there. They are hanging out. They are spying. They're spraying. Whoa, hold on. Apparently, there was this guy who was filming one, and like I said, I didn't do a lot of research on this either, but I just like to talk my shit. Okay, like, what the fuck? We have drones flying in the air right now. Can you imagine saying that 20 years ago? Like, I feel like it's so normal right now. Like, yeah, there's car-sized drones, and like nobody's talking about it, but it's like 20 years ago, nobody would be going to work. The world would be in havoc. Like, people would be going to the grocery store and picking up everything, like dumping shelves into their carts, because what the like, there's drones flying in the air. 20 years ago, we would have been on our ass. Okay, we would not have known what to do. There would be people screaming, flailing their arms up in the air and yelling and screaming, and I don't even know what would be going on, but there would be a lot going on. But we live in a world where that's just a normal thing to say. Okay, we have car-sized drones flying in the air, and it's fine. It's just fine. Okay, but anyway, the reason why we cannot shoot these drones down is most likely because it is our U.S. government, and the guy that was recording one was apparently like spraying something. Not really sure what it was spraying. The way I compare it to is like the farmers. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the video of the lady who, I guess she's a farmer. She has a farm and she has crops, and there's certain places in the US, like, I don't even know, Montana, where's Jeffree Star, like Wyoming, like where they can't spray your crops and they can't touch your crops, but there's certain states, I guess, where they can. So helicopters will come around and spray, like, I don't know what you call it, pesticides, like stuff, okay? They're just spraying shit from their helicopters, and that's the way that I compare it to. And I'm like, what are they spraying the air with these drones? What are you spraying my air with the drones? Okay. Also, why do they need to be so big? Are they actually car sized? I haven't seen one close up. I've just seen the ones like with the lights in the sky, and it's like the government said that they had no authority, or that there was some, I don't even know. They said something that just like didn't make sense, and I don't know. I don't get it. But it's like, why do they have to be so big? Why can't we just have like little, oh, that's what they said, like that people are misidentifying these things. And it's like, I think I know the difference between a plane and a drone, but actually I'm lying, because I was on the highway the other day and I was like, I see a car-sized drone. Yeah, I do. I see one. Yeah, no, it was just a plane. So maybe I don't, and maybe people are misidentifying it. But where did this start? Where was the first person who said, I see a car-sized drone? Okay. Is this just a rumor and we're all believing it? Now every time we see a little thing flying in the sky, we're like, it's a car-sized drone. I don't know. This world is crazy right now. I mean, really, I think a lot more people should be concerned about it. But like, I'm just like a really unserious human being, and I think we're a really unserious generation. So like, we're just like laughing about the fact that there's car-sized drones. And I mean, at the end of the day, what are we going to do about it? Literally, as American people, what are we going to do about it? There's nothing we can do about it, really. I don't know what to tell you. This isn't my place to give advice about car-sized drones at all. I don't even know why I'm speaking on it, because I don't have anything really to say about it besides what the fuck and why are they flying around in our airspace and spraying shit in my air. Okay, I already know the government is, you know, the regulations and stuff. Our food sucks. Like, our grocery stores are just filled with shit that's going to kill us. And like, why is Red 40 even legal? And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be soon, but just things like that. And why do you have to spray things into my air now? Okay, I'm already eating your food. I'm already a sheep. Okay, I'm already doing what you want me to be doing. And I would just appreciate it if you stayed out of my air so I can breathe clean air. Okay? Enough of the drone talk, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm just here to talk my shit, say my shit, do what I need to do. Whatever. I'm just here to talk. But I clearly like to talk. Maybe I'm just a narcissist who likes to talk, whatever. The next little thing, we kind of talked about pop culture a little bit. We talked about Brianna Chickenfry, Grace O'Malley, obviously Luigi Mangione and his little stunt that he did, and the drones. But my next little thing is, or segment, if you will, that I wanted to start was either I'm telling you a personal story that I went through, how I got through it, where I am now, whatever, either a conspiracy or a true crime kind of story, something like that. But today I'm actually not going to do a story time just yet, okay? We'll get there eventually. I think this is more falls into the conspiracy category. And this little story that I'm going to tell you is about a kid named Jamie, who I think he lives in the UK. He was a young boy. He was like 5 years old, who was like, this is a story of just like reincarnated babies, okay, that are remembering things from really big historical events, and they think that they are the person from a specific event or place in time. And this kid's name is Jamie, and I'm pretty sure he's from the UK. He developed like a fear of water at the age of 5 and was literally discussing his experiences aboard the Titanic. He's like, hey guys, I'm scared of water. I was on the Titanic, okay? I mean, he came out as a teenager saying some crazy stuff, but he was terrified of deep water, like, since he was a child. And he was able to remember, like, one of his mother's childhood memories. And he was apparently, like, watching his mom from a window in heaven of her, like, on her childhood bike, which is insane. And there was a point where when he was having these dreams, he would also, like, be sleeping and wake up screaming that we're going down, okay? Just a terrifying death dream, if you will, but it was always, like, Titanic related and, like, we're going down. And, I mean, apparently he was, like, a really easy kid in the beginning, just, like, super good attention span, and just like an easy overall kid until, like, obviously this stuff started happening. It was really concerning, I guess, for the parents, but I mean, who wouldn't be concerned? Their kid is literally saying, like, we're going down, I was on the Titanic, I'm alive now, what is going on? Okay, I would be terrified. His mother left him one night with a babysitter and discovered that he was watching, or had finished watching, the second part of the Titanic, and he began, like, painting images and sketches of the Titanic the next day. And he, like, literally knew the ship by heart, like, not just something you can watch from the movie. Like, obviously the movie itself is it's a love story, okay? It's a tragic love story, and you're not going to know the ins and the outs of the boat, okay? You're not going to know how all the mechanics work just from the movie. But he was, like, literally painting it like he knew the ins and outs of it, and, like, was painting photos of all the levels of the ship, like, knowing every little piece of it, and all the windows and whatnot. And he was listing off, like, problems that the Titanic had, and that's the reason why it went down. Okay, this kid, who is super young, was literally saying, here's the issue with the Titanic, this is why the Titanic went down. And his mom was in shock, okay? And he thought or believed that he was one of the architects of the Titanic. His name, the architect that he thought he was Thomas Andrews, who created multiple boats, okay? He created a lot of vessels for the White Star Line, and he was involved in, like, a lot of their first sailings. And this kid thought that he was him. And could he have been? I keep saying thought. He could be. He very much could be. I do believe in that. I think a lot of kids have these weird memories that, like, they're too young, they wouldn't be able to figure all this out or know any of this unless there is the possibility of reincarnation, or it's a hoax. The possibility of a hoax is always there. But so Thomas Andrews, the real architect of the Titanic, decided not to get in a lifeboat that night, and he went down with the ship on that fateful night in 1912. And they went down together, the ship and Thomas Andrews. And I guess Jamie the kid who believed he was this man was raised to believe that reincarnation was real. And his dad had believed there had to be some deeper connection, because why the hell does my kid know all of this stuff? Why is my kid having dreams in the middle of the night saying that we're going down to the ground, okay? They also took him to a Titanic museum, hoping that it would help him like a little bit with his obsession. And after that, he was having like really, really bad sleep. Just like really bad dreams, like banging in his room and like seizing and shouting. And again, like, we're going down to the ground, and just like waking up in like complete terror. And it was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, we just took him to this museum and now he's even worse. Okay, we thought it might like break that connection a little bit. Like, oh, this is real and like what I'm saying isn't. Apparently, like, when he was having these dreams, he was like literally waking up in a terror, like talking like a grown man, like just basically saying like, we're going down, but like in a way that a grown man would say it, okay? And I just think that's crazy and weird, but I mean, it could be real. Who knows? I'm saying it like I don't believe in it, but I really do. So Jamie thought he was Thomas Andrews, the designer of the ship, and he was like, as a teenager, he literally, I guess, I think I don't know how old this kid is now, but as a teenager and like a little older than that, he like has accepted the fact that he perished on that ship, like still full blown believes that he is Thomas Andrews, the architect of the Titanic. And it's like, wow, I don't know, that's like just kind of insane. And I mean, he believes it, and I don't know if I do or not. I mean, I believe in the idea of reincarnation, and I think reincarnation and the idea of it is like really freaking cool. And like, if I can reincarnate into anything, like, I would want to. But there's also like the instances of, well, I didn't really say what I'd want to be reincarnated as, but like maybe a dog in a really good family. I don't know, just like eat shit, sleep all day. Like, that would be so cool. But I think being a human is obviously the coolest. But if there was anything other worldly, other than just being a human, I think that'd be cool too. But I don't know. I like to believe that there's something higher than us, a higher power, if you will. And I think that, well, I would like to believe that something bigger happens after we're here, and energy doesn't die. So that means that our souls possibly cannot die. So it's like, where do we go for eternity? My brain doesn't want to believe that we do just go into the ground or get lit up and turn to ashes for no reason. But I guess we will never know unless we develop a technology strong enough to know. But regardless, this just got really freaking deep, okay? I just got really deep into that. But you also see these instances of celebrities that look exactly like a celebrity like 100 years ago, and you're like, wow, that's kind of crazy, because what the why do you look so much alike, or like sound so much alike? And like, I think there's one about Taylor Swift, and maybe I'll get into that on like a different episode, is like all the celebrities and why they look alike to all these people. But I think there's also a conspiracy that like their souls had been transferred or something, and they were guaranteed some sort of fame in exchange for the transfer, whatever it was. But now I'm just going into some crazy deep conspiracies that I know nothing about at the current moment, and I have to do my research, and that is something that I will do. And I don't know, we'll feel it out. Maybe next episode it'll be a story time from my own personal life, or it'll be a conspiracy, or it'll be a true crime story. I don't really know. I picked this one today because I feel like it falls like in the middle kind of I guess not true crime, but like something that's cool, that's like, I was gonna say kind of light, but I took that to a really dark place about a higher power and whatnot. So I can't really say it was like light and cute and fun, but it is something to think about. It's freaking crazy, actually, to think about the fact that reincarnation could be real. And when you're born, you literally know nothing from before that, and you know nothing after, I guess, when you die. So that in between, it's either when you die, that's what you feel, like there's nothing before and there's nothing after. Obviously life goes on without you, but the feeling of I don't remember anything from before or after is what some people believe to be death, which is a really scary thing to think about. It's nothingness. It's blank. There's nothing there. But I think what keeps most humans going is the fact that there may be something else out there. Anyway, and before I get way too deep, because that's something that I could go on for hours about, all right, I can go on for hours about what I believe, what's out there, what's not, where we go when we die, and I'm just not going to go that deep today, all right? But I think I got pretty deep on this last little thing here, so I think we're going to lighten things up a little bit with some would you rather questions for your girl Amanda here. All right, I only have a few, but I tend to ramble, so I will probably ramble on each one of them. Maybe I will try to keep it short. I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but yeah, we're gonna play would you rather. Okay, this one's, I'm like, oh, we're gonna play something light and cute, and the first one's kind of crazy, but that's fine. So it's would you rather walk in on your parents having sex or have them walk in on you? I just kind of randomized these. I picked them out. I was like, I'll pick out like 6 and we'll see what happens. And I just pulled them straight from a thing. I didn't really read into them too much and they just grabbed. Okay. So don't judge me on these. That's like hard and I don't even want to answer that one, but I think, and this might be a hot take, this might be a bad one, but I think I'd rather walk in on my parents. Okay. Because we know how we got here. There's no way around it. We know how we got here, and I think I'd just rather walk in on them than the lather, because that's just embarrassing and that's scarring, and I think both are really traumatic events. But like I said, we all know how we got here, and I think that that's probably the better of the two. I mean, it's a literal would you rather. We're only picking 2. We're only picking one of 2, I should say. Okay, that one was short and sweet, so let's get into the next one. Would you rather erase your own memories or erase someone else's memories of you? Wow, that's deep. Okay. So if I erase my own memories, I could erase like some really fucking traumatic shit, I guess. But then also, if I erase someone else's memories of you, that could also, I guess what I'm trying to say here is my events that I would probably choose to erase are also the events that have built me to be the woman I am today, and I just don't think I could part ways with them. Sometimes they keep me up at night, but I think I'd rather keep them and have that character built inside of me, because like I said, it's built me to be who I am, and as much as they suck and some things I can't forget, even if it's an embarrassing thing that happened, I think I'd want them for myself. So I'd probably erase someone else's memories of me, because I can still remember that event and know that it took place, but I guess they can't. So if I'm going to choose one, it's probably going to be erasing someone else's memories of me, because like I said, you kind of want to keep what built you to be who you are. So I think I'm going to stick with that answer. All right, next one. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally? Never age physically or never age mentally. See, this is where I want to like ask more questions, like where did I start when I stopped aging mentally? You know what I mean? Like, did I just pop out and that's it? Like, I'm just a baby in a woman's body for the rest of my life, or, you know what I mean? But I think I'd probably, oh God, I mean, I don't want to be superficial and say I don't want to age physically, but I think I don't know. I think I would rather not age. Wait. I think I'd rather age physically than not age mentally, because I mean, if you're not aging mentally, like I said, like, am I just popping out as baby and just bada bing bada boom? Like, I'm just like crying, puking, whatever, eating, and just looking for milk all the time. Like, yeah, I don't think I don't know. I need to ask more questions, but I'd rather not age mentally and age physically, because, like, who cares, you know? Everybody's gonna get wrinkles at some point, whatever. Okay, next one. Would you rather get a face tattoo of your choosing or a tattoo in a discrete area chosen by someone else? I feel like that one's really easy for me. I would just get a face tattoo of a big fat bumblebee on my face. Okay? Kidding. No. I would let someone choose a tattoo for me in a discreet place, because who's going to see it, you know, unless it's big and fat and huge. But other than that, who's going to see it? You know what I'm saying? So I think I'd rather just someone else choose it, put it in a discreet area, call it a day, because I simply just don't want a face tattoo at all. I feel like I probably 10 years ago was like into that idea. I'm like, yeah, face tattoos, so cool. But no, absolutely not. If you have face tattoos, good for you. I think that's awesome, and you're brave and you're bold and you're a sick human being and really cool. But it's not for me. It's not for me. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? So that's confusing, because if I can see 10 minutes into the future, I can like save lives. Well, I guess I can also save lives if I see 150 years into the future. Oh, so is this more of a question of like, am I going to save people around me in 10 minutes? Or am I going to save the world in 150 years by knowing what's going to happen? I mean, that would be so cool if I could see what this world looks like in 150 years. Like, I feel like my initial thoughts is like, well, I'm not going to live that long, so who cares? But like, if I could be like this historical figure that changed the world because I could see into the future, hell yeah. Are you kidding? But then again, I can also save like Sally from getting into like getting hit by a car because she crossed the road too early in 10 minutes. I don't know. That's a really hard one. I think it's more so, it's kind of like, do you save 4 people or do you save 100? So like, I think I'm gonna go with like the 150 years, because I think that'd be really cool if I could just like save the world, you know what I mean, and see where we went and what we did and maybe change the future. Well, I guess this question didn't say that I have the ability to change the future, but I guess if I could see 150 years into the future, I could see what the hell's going on and how I can change it now and in this moment. So yeah, I think I would do the 150 years. Okay, this will be my last one, I think. Yeah. Would you rather know when you are going to die or how you are going to die? Wow. See, if I know when I'm going to die, then I think I'm going to live my life to the fullest and do what I have to do and just be a badass. But if I know how I'm going to die, well, if I know how I'm going to die and it's like traumatic, then I feel like I know when. You know what I mean? But if I know when and don't know how, that's a little concerning. This is kind of a lot harder than I thought when I initially read it, but wow, I think I would. I don't know. This is kind of really friggin' hard. When I'm going to die, because like, if I know when I'm going to die and it's going to be in like 2 weeks, then I really need to get shit done. You know what I mean? Like, I have to start scratching my little check boxes on my bucket list. But if I know how I'm going to die, that's also kind of cool too. Now, I think I'm going to go with when, because then if it's like in 80 years, then I'm like, damn, you know, not going to make it to 92. I don't know. I'm going to go with when, because I think that's just the better of the two. And if I know when, then I can plan accordingly. And that's that. All right, so that is my Would You Rather questions. And that brings us to the end of episode 1 of Burnt Bridges. It's been over an hour. I've just been hanging out. I've just been chatting. I've just been going off the rails here on Burnt Bridges. But I guess that's really what I'm here to do. And I think that's totally fine. And I'm having just a great time. So it really doesn't matter how long or short or whatever the hell I'm doing. I just went on a few tangents here. Yeah, I mean, this was a lot of fun. I obviously enjoy doing this, or I'm just a narcissist who likes to hear themselves talking to a mic. Not really sure. But yeah, that is where I'll leave it today. And I think in the future, this is kind of how I will set it up. You know, we'll get some things that are going on in the world out of the way. We'll talk about some kind of interesting story, conspiracy, true crime, whatever. And I'd like to keep it current if I can. Obviously, this Jamie boy, he's been around for quite a bit because he's a teenager now, and he was having these dreams at 5 years old. But yeah, I think this is kind of how the structure is going to go. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we could change it up, have fun. I think we'll definitely end with some form of Would You Rather game, or some kind of game that I can play by myself. Obviously, it's just me, so I can't play any game that involves another person, at least for now. So yeah, I think that's that. And I should be, by the time that this is up and running, I should be on all platforms. So if you are not here on YouTube watching me on video as well, you can listen to me on the road, or when you're running on the treadmill and you want to die, whatever. That's what I do when I'm on the treadmill, is I just listen to podcasts, because nothing can make time go quick on a treadmill. You know what I mean? When you got 4 miles to go and you are on the treadmill, there is nothing. Okay, it is. You're just running to run at the point, and it sucks. So yeah, I should be on all platforms. And I just want to say, if you made it this far, which would be really cool, thank you for listening. I will see you guys. I will talk to you guys, I should say. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Burnt Bridges.